and welcome to Priestess Entrepreneur Kitchen Table Conversations, a forum for women to talk about business and the business of life. I'm Cindy Morris, your host. Now you might be wondering, what's a priestess entrepreneur? How can somebody put those two words together? Well, as it turns out, there are many priestess entrepreneurs on the planet. You might be one yourself. And what a priestess entrepreneur does is she embraces her spirit, her big vision spirit, to bring good and beautiful, uplifting work to the world, and she combines that with her intuition, the guidance that comes through her when she is quiet and open to receive. Today we have really a quite magnificent priestess entrepreneur who is really the quintessential priestess entrepreneur because all her work comes to her through divine guidance. This is Sue Frederick, author, speaker, and career intuitive. Welcome, Sue. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, it's just a pleasure to be here with you.
So tell us, what is, for most people, they don't know what that means, career intuitive. What does that mean? What's your work about?
Well, I combine the divine and the mundane. So in other words, I've always been intuitive. I've always had gifts about seeing things in the future. I've always been able to see the great potential in someone when I'm with them, even feel it, get information about them in many different levels. Growing up, I didn't know what to do with that information. I'm
sure not. Did you live in a family that supported that?
No. It was the South in the 50s. So I learned quickly to ignore it, shut it down, try to fit in.
So like visions you were getting? Or
I would have dreams and visions.
Dreams?
For example, a great example are my dreams. Even from the time I was a child, I would wake up in the morning and have had a foretelling dream the night before, but I didn't understand as a child that's what it was. And I'd come to the table and say, I dreamed about a car accident and we were on such and such a road and this person was driving and we hit a green truck with 2 doors and a padlock.
Vivid.
And vivid, down to the detail. And my family would laugh at me, argue with me, etc. And then those exact details would happen like a few days later when we'd all forgotten about the dream. But this time I would be yelling, don't hit the truck, and we would avoid a collision. And we'd come up right behind it as it stopped.
The same truck from the
Same
dream.
exact truck, I can still see it, green, double doors, padlock. And so I began to say to myself, okay, you're different than other people, Sue, but they don't think it's a good thing. So you're going to have to learn how to be quiet about it and use it in your own way. So when I did my other careers, I would use it quietly, but never quite own it. For example, I became a career counselor in the 70s, and I studied psychology at University of Missouri. But when I went into the Career Counseling Center to work, I felt energy from people and would guide them based on that, and then later try to explain it in terms of logic and practicality, try to fit it into the system.
Right.
And so all my life in various careers I did that until finally I hit my own reinvention point. And so I work with clients a lot about how everyone has reinvention points.
What is that? Explain what that means.
What it means is that we have before we even come into this lifetime, we have pre-programmed 9-year cycles where we bring an idea to culmination and then let it go and move on to the next level of our work.
Why 9 years? What's that about?
It's based on Pythagoras, the guy who invented our entire number system. He said that we had the digits 1 through 9, and he also said that every number has a meaning, a vibration, and energy. And being our left brain logical culture that we are, we said, oh, well, we'll delete that part. We'll just say every number is a quantity.
That's too woo-woo.
It's too woo-woo.
Even if it's true, it's still too
right.
woo.
And so Pythagoras, at the time, 580 BC, when he launched our whole number system, said, when you look at the numbers in your date of birth, you also get a number, a single digit, that tells you the energy of what you've
You add all the
accomplish.
numbers together and they compress into a number.
Right, you add every digit of your date of birth together and it comes out to a double-digit number, which you add together to get a single digit.
Okay.
And then that is the path that you're on. It's the meaning, the vibration of what you've come to do.
And this is the work that you do Did you do this when you were
I've
career
layered
counseling
Yeah,
too?
I've layered several different pieces together in my work. So I always knew career counseling was something I was naturally good at. I could see the potential.
I'm saying
people.
So career is not what I do as a job.
No.
Career is, this is my passion and my work in the world.
This is what
Yeah.
you have come here to do in this lifetime through your work.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then I added my intuitive piece, dreams about clients, impressions that I get about people when I'm working with them. Added that to the numbers, because the numbers were taught to me as a gift when I was 29 and my husband died from cancer, and I was feeling very lost. I was at a reinvention point, and I was given a gift of a numerology reading from a very gifted teacher, and she took me under her wing and said, I'm going to teach you everything I know. Someday you're going to use this. And literally tutored me for years and years and years about the energies of the numbers.
And of course you were receptive and open because it was a match for you.
It felt right, but I, again, never used it in my career. I was a journalist. I fit into the practical world. I wrote about health. And meanwhile, on the side, I did everyone's number chart.
As the kind of hidden hobby, right?
And I used my intuition always in my career, even though I would never say the I word, as I call it, intuition.
Why do you think intuition has such a charge around it for people? Why is it a negative thing to be
Because
intuitive?
to be successful in our world, and this is changing, it's getting better, but in the past it was about being logical, practical, left brain, and to say I have a feeling about something or I know something in my gut was not an acceptable way of speaking or acting at work.
Right, because emotions or feelings
were left out.
Kind of feminine,
Right,
maybe?
yes,
So that was
exactly right. And yet all of
not
us
valued.
women have that
And men
intuitive
too.
guidance. Yes, many men do. And so we'd go to work and learn to use other words to describe those intuitions, those feelings, right?
Sure.
Like, how do you know this, Sue? Well, I looked up some statistics on
Right.
when really it was your gut, your intuition,
You
your
just knew it.
feeling. You
You
just
knew it.
knew
The
it.
knowingness.
You just knew it. Exactly.
Right.
And so when I finally hit a major reinvention point, I pulled together all the pieces that were true for me. My intuition, the numbers, my love of career counseling, and said, I got to own who I am. Everything else is meaningless to me at this point. I am finally going to hang my shingle as who I am, a career intuitive. And I even laughed as I said that. I thought, that is so weird. I mean, my own family back in the South will totally finally disown me.
Right.
And my daughter also, who's a teenager. But I said, I have to do it. It's all that's true for me. And as I did that and owned that and started doing that work, I was able to help people in such a profound way.
Right, and then people would come to you
And
that
so
felt, that understood your,
Exactly.
they wanted a richer experience and wanted some information that come from many different
Right.
sources.
And so when your booking calendar is filled with clients for 3 and 4 months ahead of time, you have to be doing something right.
Exactly.
Or if it weren't helpful to people, they wouldn't be coming
Of
back
course.
and sending their
Of
friends.
course.